this world I'm using, titled Castlevania. I've never actually... I think when I was younger I played a little bit of Castlevania, but I never really got super into it. But I thought that that was fitting for a haunted mansion from hell, or a haunted castle from hell. Good day, guys, and welcome back to another haunted castle episode build with PycoPy. That's me. Today we're going to be talking about how I'm going to fix the drawbridge, some of the work we've done on the castle, and the starting boat. Now, I've gotten a lot of the items set. I wanted to do this first for like the players that people will be going through, or the items players will be using during their playthrough, because I wanted to try and gauge how to equip them and then how to build the castle. And it's a lot easier to change the equipment than it is to change the castle. I mean, this took me like 2 hours to get, you know, this boat and everything set up, all the equipment. The Alchemist, for instance, I mean, yeah, it has a lot of equipment. A lot of splash potions, because that's actually going to be one of its primary types of damage, like killing zombies and stuff and healing allies. So as a result, you know, I kind of just wanted to see where I wanted people to be at. Now, we're pretty much done here, so we can actually get rid of, I believe that I have a copy of that in my inventory. So yeah, this boat, I am super happy with this boat. And the banner, actually I looked up a couple different types of banners, and I actually modified one which I was really happy about, because I've never really made anything with banners before. So this is made using the yellow base, and I kind of like this, you know, cyan teal color for the knights. You know, it matches, you know, diamond armor, which is and weaponry, which is like the best in the game, right? So what we did was we did a it was an all yellow base, and then we did a oxide daisy in the middle that was blue. We cleared the top half with yellow, put a cross in with blue, and then filled it in with yellow. And because of how the colors stack and change, you end up with a sword that has kind of like a grip and cross guard. And I also think it reminds me of Maple Leaf. A bunch of my favorite YouTubers are Canadian, so I like that. Unfortunately, there's a problem with it. The shield kind of changes how it looks. Ooh. So you see, like, it's got this weird, I guess I can't really point at it. It's got this like weird, thicker, light yellow on the shield, which makes it look like some weird dispenser. So the shield doesn't work so much for, but that's going to be the emblem for our the nation that you're a part of when you're going in. Now, I did a couple things with this boat that I'm really happy with. I put some time set day. We just need to get rid of the ice. Come on. Okay, you can see. Okay, so it does displace the water, but on the other hand, you have like a legit chain, and then the anchors I'm using anvils. Because remember, this is how Minecraft would do something. So like if the physics worked in Minecraft, you'd have a you don't have anchors in Minecraft, but you have anvils, so that's what we're using. Now, obviously, I have these sails kind of filled out. That's because when players play, it's going to be stormy, right? So it's going to be rainy, there's going to be lightning. So you can kind of see how I filled it out. And then I used more chain or iron bars. Kind of the idea is that they're rope and that they're tied tight. because in a storm you don't want loose sails. Loose sails will tear apart, they'll damage your ship. So the idea is that you have tight sails, and that's actually what down here these serve as well, is they're helping to anchor the boat, but then they also are providing a light source, so it's kind of multifunctional in that sense. And of course you have some ladders back here because some players will fall off, and we have the rudder. Now I just like how, you know, obviously the water doesn't fill in, but you know, we have to do what we have to do, and this is Minecraft world, so that's just how it's assumed to have worked. On the bright side, our chains, you know, won't really get rusty. Apparently I'm sitting on the chain. And I actually, like, realistically, I'd want to have the chain, like, flowing out here, like the boat's being pulled and the chain's taut, so it's at, like, kind of an arcing 45-degree angle. But here's the thing, this looks really bad when it's done that way, because you just have, like, random spots of chain that are, what, 4 times thicker? Yeah. But it works like right next to the anvil, right? Because that's presumably where you need strength, and it also works on the boat because it needs more strength. Yeah, here we go. Like, it's thundering, it's raining. We'll put a villager here. I actually had a villager here already, and he had a tendency to just hop off the boat, which is kind of productive, I think. Some zombies over there scared him. So I'll have to figure out a way to tether him in. Now, I did forget something. We don't want players mining, but at the same time, we don't want players to get stuck in there. I don't need this. That was a failed experiment. Yeah. So, now, each of the classes, the 3 classes, the Knight, the Ranger, and the Alchemist, kind of have their own role. So I'm actually going to add in some ladders here to the Knight. Like, these are ladders you would use to scale the wall, and the nice thing about Minecraft and scaling walls is you don't have to carry the like a full length ladder the whole way there. You can just build it on the way up. So that's one of the things we're going to do. That looks weird. Now, as you might notice, I don't have a headpiece for the Knight. I have a dragon's helm because I'm going to go with, like, hey, you're actually a dragon warrior in this. And I put some, I don't really want drowning to be a thing for the Knight. The Knight gets less options in terms of how they can affect the battle. It's mostly just beat things, hold shield, don't get hurt. So I wanted to make it a little bit cool for them, so they got a few extra golden apples. He does get a few arrows. I did include some spectral arrows because I figured players might find a use for them. They make things glow even around corners, so because of that, it could be very useful for some people, especially the boss. And I'm thinking of like 2 different bosses. Spectral arrows might be useful for that. You have a really good sword. I did make it fire aspect, but then I gave some fire protection as well. Actually, I figured out you could put protection on shields, like enchant shields. I don't think you can in the base game. You can in creative mode. So hopefully that'll work. I will have more resources for them to pick up in-game, but keep in mind, they're being sent in as like, hey, there was a crusade, things literally went to hell, like ended in hell, so we're sending you guys in as a crack team, like, you know, our best Knight, our best Ranger, our best Alchemist. So I want them to start off with really good weapons, especially since it's not going to be a very long campaign. I can't, in creative mode, actually, if I knock those off, it destroys them, so I'm not going to do that. Actually, I've changed my name for the Ranger because iron and diamond, the idea is like it's too heavy, right? I do include a lot of extra arrows. There'll be more arrows in there for them to pick up so they won't run out. I have the Potion of Spirit Scene is what I'm using as, like, it's how it reveals like the gold pressure plates in there. And the reason why we're going to be using those in the story-wise is because they reveal aspects of the castle, and in game terms, what that means is we can actually have a completely vanilla experience. Like, you can make this in a this castle in a survival map or on a server that's completely vanilla. That's the idea. Now, some of the aspects might be hard. Like, we're going to use ghasts for sound effects in the castle, which is theoretically doable if you shove it through a portal. But in real life, in survival, that's extremely hard to do. So the ranger here, they have a bunch of different arrows. They have extra arrows of harming, slowness, poison, weakness. That's because their primary thing is arrows. I also gave them frostwalk boots because that seems like a kind of a rangery. Like, if you're going to have a scout, being able to just book it across water, not having to deal with boats, is going to be very useful. So, sorry about that, folks. Apparently I hit the button that got rid of my recording, turned it off. So yeah, we have the 3 classes. They each have their own separate roles. We gave some boats that they'll be able to use if they don't realize that they can use Frostwalk. The Alchemist has a lot of potions to be used. I probably need to give a few more of the utility ones. But I think we're going to go talk about the castle right now. I believe that I talked about the ship, like I used the chains for the anchors, and during a storm, these are full because of the storm, and then all this, the bars that I'm using for ropes are to keep them nice and tight so that they don't get damaged, and then these just, forget what those are called. They just provide light while being functional at the same time. So let's go over and head to the castle. I have the base design for the walls I'm going to use. So I've decided to go with roofs are going to be topped with wood because it's an easier resource for them to use. And you don't have to worry about like artillery landing down because at the angles it's all coming up. So you don't have to worry about having stone roofs. The little archer areas I'm going to have is this 2-stair design. Stair at the bottom, stair up top, so that a person can step up, shoot down, and then come back to get a little bit of extra cover if they need it. All the hallways I think are going to basically be too wide because there's a space concern. Speaking of which, I'm going to have to do a lot with digging down into this. So you'll have like the base castle, and then you have all their dark rooms where they went to the nether and went to the end, and that's all going to be underground because one of the reasons is one of the suggestions I got was to have rooms change. So like I can have people go down to like a central chamber, and then in order to get to the portal to the nether, they have to go in several rooms, and each time they go in a room, it changes that central room by using pistons, and that'll take a lot of space. So as a result, I'm going to need a lot of space. I'm going to do it all underground, which should be a nice creepy effect. I've also been doing a lot of reading on mobs in Minecraft so that we can do cool things. For instance, magma cubes. They apparently swim very well in lava. So I'll probably have a room that has a large lava pit, or like a cave area, like either a natural cave or semi-natural, where the players have to walk through. And then the act of going into the room also triggers magma cubes being released and shoved into the lava, so that the player walks in, maybe they fight just a zombie or something like that, and then they go to loot or explore the room, and then suddenly all these magma cubes are popping out of the ground. It's going to be interesting to try and judge the difficulty. As I said, the reason why I put items down first, I don't want them to have only the best gear. That's why like the ranger has chainmail. The fighter's thing is all, he's big buff. He does a lot of melee damage, has a shield with enchantments on it, so that because that's his stick. I don't want, you know, the Alchemist to be able to do the exact same thing as him, because the Alchemist has his own thing as well that I don't want the Knight to be able to replicate. I think I also talked about the fact that instead of giving him a normal helmet, I'm giving him a highly enchanted Ender Dragon head. But yeah, so right now and it's kind of boring, going to be kind of boring for you guys. I'm just building out the wall design everywhere, doing some towers. When we end up going and doing the decorations for the rooms, I'll do more videos where all the decoration work is being done live. I could do some work on this right now, but it's still not 100% settled. Like, I decided to make... Why is my sound... I can't hear anything. There we go. Sorry, I'm using my roommate's headphones, and they have a tendency not like their input cable. So I'm going to have this whole thing be a wall. It's just a giant wall where archers can shoot. And the thing about giving the knight ladders is that in a Minecraft functional world where they can't break down walls, ladders would become very useful. And they're more useful than real world ladders because you can just stick 64 of them in your pocket and pull them out as needed as you're climbing the wall. So we're going to build this all up as a normal wall, just super high with lots of archery spots. And then we're going to start destroying it, make it look battle worn and crumbling like my nether portal. And as a result, we can, the knight can use his ladders in order to supplement the ladders on the wall to get in. So this can be one entry point. At the same time, you can use ladders to get over the wall that'll be over here, right? By providing multiple points of entry, it makes it a little bit more interesting. And a lot of the outer areas of the castle, I'm going to have be more zombie skeletons, basic simple mobs that are kind of easy to defeat, but they might, occasionally have larger numbers. That kind of weather here. It makes sense to me because the idea is that coming out of the nether portal is the corruption. So the closer they get to the portal, the more corruption there is. So despite the fact I'm giving them multiple entry points, because they have that central area being far underground, they won't be able to... they won't jump into a super hard situation. I'm also gearing them up more at the beginning. They're not really going to get any, quote, better gear throughout the adventure. They might get some arrows and stuff. But, oh, that's kind of interesting. There's a cave here. They just won't be getting, gear that levels, that's the way that they level up. They're starting off super strong because they're some of the best, right? And because they're some of the best, it's very hard for them to get better gear. I'm going to recommend that they lock their initial gear, and then the Alchemist might be able to find some better stuff because he's just wearing leather. There'll be some extra arrows in here, including arrows of weakness and strength and stuff, for them to use. So that is going to be basically all there is. It's mostly just supplies kind of stuff. I guess I could actually get rid of some of the bread too and let them eat, food that they find around the place. But yeah, you start off as a crack team. So yeah, I'm right now just going to get the walls and towers for the castle set up. When I start getting into room design, I'm probably going to do more videos as I do it. Right now, this is just going to be a lot of doing the same blocks. I'm going to listen to Audible. You know, I might watch, you know, Rick and Morty again and do this. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go do a bunch of walls. I will come back. This video is actually going to be an extra video this week just to catch up. I still want to only do like 2 Minecraft videos a week. I don't want to commit to more than that at this point in time. And if you like this series, if you think making a haunted castle that players can play through that is doable in a completely vanilla world, I would really appreciate it if you guys would share it with people you think would like that. That would mean a lot to me, just in terms of making it a more rewarding experience. And then, who knows, if I get some views off of this or friends end up liking it, you guys can then go play through it later. So, that kind of looks like a hand.